Greg? Okay. Okay, call the meeting to order. Please rise for the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, everybody. And good evening to those watching on cable. First item on the agenda are the minutes of October 18th, regular session. Mr. Prisco.
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the October 18, 2010 regular meeting minutes as written.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Prisco, seconded by Mr. O'Leary. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous? Yellow correspondence sheets, passing this way. Do you have anything? Greg, I'm gonna assume that when we go final electronic, we'll just take those documents and make them part of the package,
Absolutely,
rather than do what we've been doing.
absolutely. Yeah, we'll set up a system where everyone can just review them.
Next item on the agenda is public comment. Start with Mr. Murphy.
Thank you, Mr. Misery. I'm here on behalf of the North Reading Chamber of Commerce. Just wanted to make you aware that we'll be holding our 5th annual holiday and Christmas tree lighting festival out on the Common, November 28th, 2:30 to 4. And then at 4:30, we will light the Christmas tree on the Common. This is it's to the support of the business community, but it's really a community-wide effort. John Welsh here at Town Hall and others help out with this event in many, many ways. And it's a lot to put together, and it's our 5th year, and I think it's grown to be a great community event, and I think it helps us all ring in the holiday season together. So, be happy to answer any questions you have.
I'll just comment, John, that I've seen, I've attended a number of them, and had grandchildren attend, and everybody's quite excited and had a good time, and I congratulate the chamber and thank them for running it again.
Thank you. Yeah, it's grown quite a bit. Last year's crowd was probably the biggest ever. So, and we lit more trees than ever, so it
Is there a
keeps
gift
growing
under the
every
tree
year.
for me? Will there be a gift under the tree for me?
Not enough of coal in the country.
That might be decided after your hearing at 7:30.
Oh, what? Oh, because we're gonna go with 95% change in the tax rate?
Like the cheer, I also.
John, it's gonna be centered in front of the library.
Yeah,
What
we'll have
facilities are gonna be
we're
open?
gonna have
and used?
the hay rides, courtesy of Mark Hall. The hay rides will go down to the Flint House and down into that area, same as last year. We'll have a trolley that'll run from Reading Cooperative Bank, where Santa will be for pictures with the kids. We'll have a trolley that goes from there up to the senior center, and then we've got a whole bunch of groups performing, including the elementary school chorus, or choruses, will be performing this year for the first time. So it's, and the high school band will be there and light the trees. So it's kind of all around the common area. And the library's gonna have the Friends of the Library are gonna have a table out there as well. So refreshments and fun events. And
That's
things
worked
for-
out with the police from traffic control.
yeah, that's,
One of
yeah.
them.
Just as the chair has, I'd like to thank you and the chamber for sponsoring this event. It's really grown over the years, in my experience anyhow, and it's been a terrific family, community-wide event, so, thank you.
Thanks.
I think we can all echo it, I'll echo it as well.
Thank you. Hope to see you all there. Thanks.
Thank
you.
you for being
Nice
here,
job.
John. Thank you. Anyone else here for public comment?
Next question.
Don't be afraid.
Questions don't count, it's gotta be a comment.
Can it be
I'm only
both?
kidding.
Deanna Castor, 9 Broadway. Just because at the November election, the 40B came up, and our town voted a little bit differently than the state obviously did. And because I know tonight is about tax classification, I have a couple of questions. I was looking at old notes from town meeting regarding 40B, and it doesn't have to be answered tonight. I'm just wondering at some point if you could give us sort of the perceptions versus realities and the lessons learned about 40B. I know at one point we were talking about how many children we expected to be in our school system. I wonder if we know, based on what we thought versus where we are. Was there going to be a special check ever reimbursed from the state, for education services, I guess is another question. Has it already been? And if there are additional education services that come up in our school system, can we solicit back to the state and, get more reimbursement from
I can
them?
answer those questions for you.
You can, okay.
What we did was we converted the 40B to a 40R, which allowed us to collect some money from the state.
Right.
Other than that, there wasn't much difference. The Edgewood Estates has 406 affordable housing units,
Mhm.
which at that time completed our 10% inventory of housing.
Yep.
So therefore, any additional 40Bs, we didn't have to basically deal with them until the new census, where there's going to be some adjustment. But we went from 2% to 10% all in one bite. And if we had continued down the path of 40Bs, which we'd still be on today,
Mhm.
rather than those apartments, the affordable portion of the other 40Bs in town were 25%. So for housing units, right, of 406, bringing us up to the 10%,
Mhm.
right? 406 housing units versus what would have had to be over 1,600 to get the same percentage going down the 40B route with 25% affordable housing. So that's number one of the things. There's about 32 kids, I think, in the school system.
Right.
It's a little higher than we originally estimated. I believe that after looking at some of the demographics of who's there, that some of it has got to do with the current state of the economy. In other words, some people are there as a matter of necessity.
Right.
40S, which is what I think you're referring to,
Mhm.
associated with receiving state aid to cover
Right.
the cost of education.
Mhm.
My understanding is that it was related to making you whole if your educational cost exceeded the revenue that you're receiving from the 40R. An application, I believe, was started sometime
Couple months back.
a few months ago,
Okay.
and I think they quickly found out that we don't qualify. And that's because the cost is nowhere near. And I haven't heard of the state funding the program, by the way, either, but we would, at least at this point, we wouldn't have qualified. I hope that answers your question.
It does. So we don't
Anyone else want to
qualify.
comment?
No, I think you covered it completely. Yeah.
And perhaps this will come up later on tonight. I just want to make sure that if someone can address, because I just don't understand how this works, as far as the units there, as far as the tax roll is concerned, and how proactive we are about making sure that everyone is paying their fair share as far as the services in town. I don't know, because they're rental units and things like that, how the town goes about making sure the taxes are paid and so forth. Thank you.
Well, we can tell you that the owners are not happy with what they're being charged for taxes.
We applied for an abatement, I believe.
Right.
Correct, and the property, is one single bill that's rented on the whole property, and it's the responsibility of the owner to pay it. So the tenants, they have no responsibility for it.
Of course, the taxes get passed off in their rental fees, but,
Condo fee.
okay. Jeffrey?
Isn't there a restriction on the amount that they can charge them for rent now? On the affordable housing?
On the affordable units, within the affordable units.
Right.
Which seems kind of strange. There are some limits to what the rents can be, but they're not like real cheap, affordable housing units.
Right.
At least that's my understanding.
Yeah, it's based upon the median family income of the community, not necessarily the MSA or the state as a whole. So as a result, what they can charge for the affordable units is substantially higher than what they would charge in an urban area. Yeah, once I saw those rents, and I still see what the rents are, I don't consider them to be affordable. But they're reduced in relation to the market,
Right.
market value of those units. So,
Anyone else here for public comment? All right, we will move on to ambulance bill write-off. Mr. Delaconis.
Board members are recommending a write-off in the amount of $175. The ambulance bills go out, they include an opportunity for individuals to express a hardship. And in this case, residents got back to us and indicated and proved to us that they have an existing hardship, and the recommendation would be to abate ambulance bill NR 10-144-2, which is run 150671. And the amount is $175.
And this is one single abatement,
Correct.
Mr.
In the past, I've seen, in our packet, we've received whatever the bill was.
Correct.
The efforts made to collect, any requests to write off. Don't believe we received anything in this.
Yeah,
bill.
I was just scrambling through the packet as you were speaking, wondering where the bill was.
Is
and
this a hardship case?
It was, and the individual had to sign under penalties of perjury to prove what their income was and what their expenses were, and we felt that it was valid and met the criteria of the town.
Mr. Yule?
Do we only have one this time? I mean, usually we have quite a few. Or is this,
Though, this is different than the ones that come to you in batches are the ones that we never hear from.
okay.
So this is one that someone's gotten back to us and proved their hardship case.
Anything else? Mr. Prisco?
Mr. Chairman, I move to write off, in accordance with Hill and Burton standards, ambulance bill number 10-1422, run number 150671, dated 8/23/2010, in the amount of $175.
Motion by Mr. Prisco, seconded by Mr. O'Leary. Further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous? Next item on our agenda is discontinuance of the liquor license at Ristorante Daniela. Could you give us a little
I will.
background on
You have
the
a,
process that?
certainly, you have a letter in your packet from Attorney Mann, who was present this evening. Indicates that the board did grant a liquor license transfer to Darlene Bonapane, doing business as SOPAC, S-O-P-A-C Incorporated, September 28th of 2008. Since that time, the licensee has renewed their license on an annual basis, however, has not been put forward to an active use because of the current economic conditions and the fact that the facility up there is not completed. So what has come forward, and Attorney Mann will explain it, is another likely applicant who wishes to seek a new license, free of any encumbrances that may be on the existing license. There is licenses available under the town's quota, and so what would have to happen is, prior to that new licensee coming in and requesting a license before the board at that location, you have to have someone voluntarily give up the license. And so this needs to happen as a requirement for a new applicant to come in for a new license at that location.
So, that I understand, we had extended the license to
Ristorante
Daniela.
Daniela.
Right, we had taken those steps back a while ago associated with their intent at the time to reestablish the restaurant after the reconstruction and everything was done. So this sort of implies that that's off the table now, and they're free to give up the license. Yes, ma'am.
I'll defer if you don't mind. I took it as far as I could, I apologize.
I appreciate that.
You're
Good